I will leave the, what am I even saying? I will leave. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Zella here, back with another video. If it's your first time here on my channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe and let's get into it. For those that do not know, I am a lash technician, makeup artist, and I do permanent makeup with the eyebrows, ombre, micro shading. Today's video is going to be in the lash department. Today we're going to be talking about glue and retention. So, a lot of people always ask me, questions about glue and retention, and I have this class where I do lash trainings, where I do like classic training, volume training, whatever, but I do have a separate class which is called a refresher course. And a refresher course is basically if you trained with someone else but you feel like you haven't gotten all the answers, or you feel like they didn't teach you properly and you don't understand still, you just come here, and I'm not going to teach you the whole class. I'm just going to focus on what you're struggling with. So if you're struggling with isolation, if you're struggling with pinching and making your sets really full or wispy, whatever, I do that. So I offer a refresher class for whatever you're struggling in. So a lot of people are always struggling with retention. Besides defense is always retention and how to get their sets to last longer, and that's basically what this video will be about. So I am going to give you and it's so crazy because a lot of people that have taken other trainings, and when they come for a refresher and I give them this information, they'd be like, I didn't know that. And I'd be like, how did you take a course and you don't know that? Well, whatever. I'm not here to judge how anyone else teach their class, but I feel like, you should at least give out very important details, because this information is really like the key to getting like long lasting. Let's jump right into it. Guys, when you are lashing, please, it is very important to understand how your glue works. This is like so important that a lot of people really don't know. And it's like, I'm sorry, but a lot of like lash techs that's doing classes aren't teaching this as well. And I feel like this is so important to gain like great retention and long lasting sets. So what you need to understand is how your glue work. All right, a lot of people, they buy glue and they don't read the instructions, they don't know how their glue work, and they wonder why everything is like, the glue is so watery, why it's not getting, or it's so thick and sticky, like it's not the right consistency, or like while they're in the middle of their lash session, they're brushing, the lashes are popping off or whatever. It's because you're not understanding how your glue works. So first thing first, I use my own glue. I have my glue is Secure the Lash glue. I sell it for $34 on my website. If you would like to try, I will leave the link in the description box below, but this is the only glue that I use, and I love it. It took me forever to actually find a great glue, but I love it. Like, I love it. My sets last a while. I will actually put a picture right here and I will show you an example of how the retention is with this glue. I don't even have to tell you how long she had this set, because obviously you will see how long the lashes outgrown, but they were still intact. Whatever, the picture will be right there. Anyway, so yes, understand your glue, right? So because a lot of people don't understand their glue, or sometimes you do buy lash glues and it doesn't have the directions up there, you have to go like to the website or whatever to read the environment the glue should be in. But for my glue, because I always bought glue and I used to have to, I didn't feel like, that's another thing, people are lazy these days, and they're like, if it's not on a box or something, they're like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna figure it out. People don't like to go online to like read something that they should have read before they actually bought it, but whatever. So for my glue, I actually asked my vendor to put the instructions on the bottom. So this is a 1 to 2 second glue. That's the dry time 1 to 2 seconds, so whatever. So this best works in 22 to 26 centimeters. centimeters. What I meant was it works in 22 to 26 degrees Celsius, not centimeters, Celsius. Yeah, and that is basically 71 to 78 degrees. It's like 71 point something to 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit or whatever. So I put on a bottle so no one can ever forget. And the humidity of the room, it has to be 45 to 75 percent humidity, which is really good because sometimes it is hard to control the humidity in your room. Especially, I don't know what everybody else uses, but I use a Vicks humidifier. It's not nothing fancy, just something you plug in, plug out. So when my humidity gets too high, I have to unplug it, but when it gets too low, I have to plug it back in or whatever, and it gets kind of like annoying, especially if you have a glue that's got to be like 50 to 60 degrees. 50 to 60% humidity. Is like, now you got to make sure you stay in that. You got to keep your eye. It's really important that you use one of these things. This is like a temperature reader, so it has like my degrees on the top and my degrees on the top and my humidity at the bottom. Right now it's 67.8 degrees in here, which is like too low, and it's 56% humidity, which is great because it's in between. But I would definitely have to get my temperature up if I wanted to start lashing or whatever. So this is actually great. Make sure you always have one of these or something that, something similar or whatever. But yes, make sure you understand. If you do not understand your glue, if you will have like very poor retention, your glue will not be the right consistency. I meet so many people who don't even know. So this is the thing. And you're not going to use your humidifier all year round. You're going to use your humidifier through the colder months. When it's like 30 degrees out, that's when you use your humidifier. The air is super crystal clear. You need to thicken the air a little bit, so you would use your humidifier. Now in the summertime, you would use a dehumidifier to take out like the cloudiness, or you want to thin the air out in the summertime. So I use a dehumidifier for the summer times or the hotter months, and I use a humidifier for the winter or basically the colder months or whatever. You really want to pay attention to your humidity, because for a long time when I took a lash class, I was not even taught this. I think I was on my third class when I was like actually taught this or whatever. I'm not sure why people don't teach this, but it's super, super like important, because for a while I was wondering like why my glues are slipping, like why I'm like making the right fan, I'm using the right amount of glue, but my fan isn't sticking, or as if it's sticking, I brush them and they popping right off. Or the next day my client is telling me, that half of her lashes is falling off, and I never understood why that was happening. It was always because I didn't know how to work with my glue. I was using a different type of glue, and the humidity had to be very high, and and I had to find a glue that works great in your environment. Like if you live in like say Texas, it's always hot. Don't use something where it has to be super cold, because then you're gonna be struggling trying to fight with your environment. Find a glue that works right in your environment. You don't want to get a glue where like I said, like if you're in Texas, you don't want to get something that's completely opposite from your living environment. Like if you live in a hot area, get a glue that is great for the hot area. If you live in a colder area, get a glue that's great for the colder area, because you're gonna be, and then your electricity gonna be up, and I don't know, but I like to save my money, so I'm not trying to do anything that's gonna make me spend extra than what I have to. So if I live somewhere hot, I'm going to get a glue that works really well in the warmer areas, so that way it will, I don't have to do too much to struggle with the, if it's always 80 degrees where you live and 70% humidity, but your glue is working at 40%, you know how much you got to work just to take out that air, like, or you know how much you got to run your dehumidifier to thin that air out just so your glue could work. That's just extra work. Find the glue that works right in your environment. Make sure that you read all the time like how your glue is working. I promise you, your retention is gonna go like up. You're gonna see like a difference when you're attached. It's gonna be like, it's gonna become a magnet. Like instead of it slipping off and you trying to keep putting add glue, it's gonna become a magnet. Like, it's really important. Look at my baby. It's really important to make sure that, you know, you follow directions of your glue always. I can't even express it enough, because a lot of people do not even, a lot of new lash techs don't even know. Like, they're not, I feel like they're not even being taught this, and it's so crazy. So I was just like, you know what, let me just drop this, because like, people need to know, like, this is really important. Like, this is like one of the first things you're supposed to know, like, especially when y'all talking about the glue. So I was like, let me give like a, and it's, you know, it's like super short or whatever, but I was actually here practicing, like, because when I'm on my downtime, I always practice, like, making my fans or whatever. So I was here making some fans. I was like, you know what, a lot of people always talking about glue. Somebody actually asked me this, like, I think like a day or two ago. So I was like, you know what, let me make a short video, because I feel like this is something that you shouldn't even have to pay someone to teach you. You know, like, if you already paid for the class, you shouldn't have to pay someone else to teach you. So that's what, you know, so I was like, let me make a quick video, because the girls needs to know, like, follow your glue directions. Like, it's so simple, and I promise you it's gonna help you. Like, follow it. Like I said, if you would like to try the Security lash glue, it's on my website for $34. I'll leave the link in the description box below. I also have lash trays available for purchase. They're like $14.50 up there each. They come in D curl, C curl, 0.3, 0.5. Like, I love them, not just because they're mine, because they're the best. I have primer and all of that good stuff. Check out my store, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and like this video.